If you've ever looked at FIFA World Cup betting odds and felt like you were staring at another language, you're not alone. At first glance, numbers like 1.85 plus 250 or 3 to 1 can feel confusing. But once you understand how they work, they become a simple way to read probability, expectation, and even public opinion about a match. In this guide, we're going to break everything down in a clear, natural way, so that by the end, you'll understand how odds are structured, what they actually mean, and how different formats are just different ways of saying the same thing. Let's start with the most important idea. Betting odds are not random numbers. They are a reflection of probability. Bookmakers use them to show how likely they think something is to happen in a match. In the FIFA World Cup, this could be anything from which team will win a match, whether both teams will score, how many goals will be scored, or even which team will qualify from a group. Every odds line is basically a prediction wrapped in numbers, but also adjusted for risk and betting activity. Now, in global football betting, especially during the World Cup, you will see three main types of odds: decimal odds, fractional odds, and American odds. They all represent the same thing, just in different styles depending on where you are in the world. Decimal odds are the most common format internationally. If you see something like 2.00, 1.50, or 3.25, that is decimal odds. The easiest way to understand them is that they show your total return for every unit you stake. So if you bet 10 units at odds of 2.00, your total return would be 20 units, which includes your original stake. That means your profit is 10 units. If the odds are 1.50, a 10-unit bet returns 15 units total, meaning your profit is 5 units. In FIFA World Cup matches, favourites often have lower decimal odds, like 1.30 or 1.60, while underdogs can go as high as 4.00, 5.00, or even more. What this really tells you is probability. Lower decimal odds mean higher probability. Higher odds mean lower probability. For example, if a team like Brazil is playing a smaller nation, Brazil might be at 1.40, meaning they are heavily favoured to win. But if a smaller team wins against expectations, maybe they were at 6.00, which signals a much lower chance of victory, according to bookmakers. Now let's move to fractional odds, which are commonly used in the UK and still appear in World Cup betting markets. Fractional odds look like 2 to 1, 5 to 2, or 7 to 4. These numbers might look more complicated, but they are actually quite logical. The first number represents your profit, and the second number represents your stake. So if you see 2 to 1, it means for every 1 unit you stake, you win 2 units in profit. If you bet 10 units at 2 to 1, you win 20 units profit plus your original stake back, totaling 30 units. If you see odds like 5 to 2, that means for every 2 units you stake, you win 5 units profit. So a 10-unit bet would give you 25 units profit plus your stake back. In the context of FIFA World Cup matches, fractional odds are often used to show slightly more detailed probability differences between teams, especially in tight matches like Argentina versus France or Germany versus Spain. Then we have American odds, also called moneyline odds, which are common in the United States. These are shown with a plus or minus sign. If you see minus 150, that means the team is favoured. If you see plus 200, that means they are the underdog. The minus number shows how much you need to bet to win 100 units. So minus 150 means you must bet 150 units to win 100 units profit. On the other hand, plus 200 means if you bet 100 units, you win 200 units profit. In World Cup betting, American odds make it very clear who is favoured and who is not. A strong team might be listed at minus 300, meaning they are a very strong favourite. A weaker team might be plus 800, meaning a big upset is possible, but unlikely. Now that you understand the three main formats, the next important concept is implied probability. This is where everything becomes more interesting because it translates odds into percentage chances. For example, if a team has decimal odds of 2.00, that roughly means a 50% chance of winning. If the odds are 1.50, that implies around a 66% chance. If the odds are 4.00, that implies about a 25% chance. So, when you look at FIFA World Cup matches, you are really looking at a probability model disguised as numbers. Bookmakers calculate these probabilities based on team strength, player performance, injuries, historical data, and even public betting behaviour. But here is something many beginners don't realise. Odds are not just predictions, they are also influenced by betting money. If a lot of people start betting on one team, bookmakers may adjust the odds to balance risk. That is why odds can change before a match starts. In the World Cup, this happens often because millions of people are betting globally, which creates constant movement in odds lines. Now let's talk about favourites and underdogs, because this is central to understanding World Cup betting. A favourite is the team expected to win. They usually have low odds because their probability of winning is high. An underdog is the opposite, a team expected to lose. They have higher odds because their chance of winning is lower. But football is unpredictable, and this is what makes World Cup betting so interesting. Upsets happen regularly. A team with 6.00 odds can sometimes defeat a team with 1.30 odds. That is why understanding odds is not about predicting certainty, but about understanding risk and probability. Another important part of World Cup betting odds is the draw option. In football, especially group stage matches, a draw is always possible. So you might see three-way odds like 1.80 for Team A, 3.20 for draw, and 4.50 for Team B. This means the bookmaker believes Team A is most likely to win, a draw is possible, and Team B is least likely to win. Understanding three-way odds is crucial in World Cup matches because draws are very common in tightly contested games, especially in group stages where teams play cautiously. Now let's go deeper into some of the most popular betting markets you will see during the FIFA World Cup. One of the most common is the match result market, which simply asks who will win. Another is over and under goals. For example, over 2.5 goals means you are betting that the total goals in a match will be 3 or more. Under 2.5 means 2 or fewer goals. When you see odds like 1.90 for over 2.5 goals and 1.90 for under 2.5 goals, it means the bookmaker sees both outcomes as almost equally likely. But if over 2.5 goals is at 1.40, that suggests a high-scoring game is expected. Another common market is both teams to score, often shortened to BTTS. If the odds are low, like 1.70, it means there is a strong expectation that both teams will score. If the odds are high, like 2.20 or more, it suggests at least one team may fail to score. In World Cup knockout stages, these markets become even more interesting because teams often play more defensively, which can shift odds dramatically compared to group stage matches. You also need to understand how bookmakers build their margins into odds. This is often called the VIG, or overround. It means the odds are slightly adjusted so that the bookmaker always has an edge regardless of the outcome. So even if probabilities suggest a 50-50 match, the odds will not perfectly reflect that. Instead, they might slightly favour the bookmaker's profit margin. This is why understanding odds is not just about reading numbers, but about understanding that they are structured with built-in profit for the bookmaker. During the FIFA World Cup, odds also react to real-world events. If a star player gets injured, odds shift instantly. If a team performs well in the group stage, their odds to win the tournament drop. If a team struggles, their odds rise. This makes odds a living system that constantly updates based on new information. For example, a team might start the tournament at 10.00 to win the World Cup, but after a few strong performances, they might drop to 5.00. That doesn't mean they are guaranteed to win, it just means their perceived probability has increased. One of the most powerful things you can learn is how to compare odds between different bookmakers. Sometimes one bookmaker may offer slightly higher odds for the same outcome. This difference might seem small, but over time it reflects different risk assessments and can tell you how the market is reacting. Another important concept is value. Value occurs when you believe the true probability of an outcome is higher than what the odds suggest. For example, if a team is priced at 3.00, which implies about 33% chance, but you believe they actually have a 45% chance of winning, then that could be considered value. Understanding value is what separates casual viewers from serious analysts of betting odds. However, it is important to understand that even with all this knowledge, football remains unpredictable. The FIFA World Cup is famous for surprises, last-minute goals, penalty shootouts, and unexpected upsets. Odds can guide your understanding of probability, but they cannot guarantee outcomes. At the end of the day, reading World Cup betting odds is about translating numbers into meaning. Once you understand decimal, fractional, and American formats, you begin to see the story behind each match. You start to understand how bookmakers view each team, how the market reacts to changes, and how probability is represented in real time. So the next time you look at FIFA World Cup odds, instead of seeing confusing numbers, you will see a structured prediction system that reflects chance, risk, and public expectation all at once.